everybody. Welcome to the Coffee Chat. I'm Andy Bozarth, Outreach and Advocacy Director for AARP Kansas, and we have a great treat for you today. I'm pleased to introduce today's guest, Pete Jeffries. Pete is the National Director of AARP's Veteran and Military Families Initiative. Welcome, Pete.
Hey, Andy, good to be with you.
It's really good to see you again. And just, full disclosure here, we were talking earlier about the fact you're wearing KU colors and that you are a native Kansan.
I am a proud graduate of Shawnee Mission North High School.
That's great. And thanks for coming back and being part of this today. Our audience is primarily Kansans, but we have a lot of people from all over the country that do tune in and listen to what you have to say. So to get us started, can you tell me a little bit more about AARP's Veteran and Military Families Initiative?
Absolutely. So first, a shout out for all those who have served and sacrificed. We just started Veteran and Military Family Month, and we'll have a huge milestone date coming up on November 11th, which is Veterans Day. So we came together at AARP and wanted to, again, illustrate our thanks and our respect for those who have worn the uniform back in 2018. And we've built this program on 4 key issue areas. One is family caregiving. 2 is fighting fraud. 3rd is securing employment. And 4th is connecting veterans and military families to their earned service benefits. AARP has great expertise, particularly in those first 3. And then when it comes to connecting to earned service benefits, we have the reach and the communications power to connect people with those experts who can get them the information that they need when they need it.
That is great. And why exactly does AARP have such a special focus on veterans and military families?
Well, when we've been in community and then in the last couple of years here doing events virtually, we know that so many veterans and military families, their values and their needs actually line up with areas that AARP has experience and has content expertise. And so we wanted to bring together and collaborate, if you will, with other veteran groups, and most importantly, directly with the veteran military family community so that we can help to better serve their needs.
Great. What are some of the key benefits and services that are available for veterans and military caregivers?
So from an AARP perspective, that's one of the areas that we have really done a great job, a deep look into, because whether anybody knows it, you're either going to be a caregiver or you're going to have a caregiver as you move through life's journey. And so with that, we know that veteran and military caregivers, they actually start younger, they caregive longer, and they face unique challenges because there could be seen or unseen wounds with their wounded warriors. So one of the first big resources, and our resources to the community are all free. So folks should go and check out our website at aarp.org/veterans. We make it real easy, aarp.org/veterans. One of the very first resources that we put out was a 48-page veteran military caregiving guide, and it literally walks people through the entire journey of what you need to know at different steps along the way. It also has a checklist in the back, and when we've talked to veterans when we're doing community forums and likewise, they come up to us afterwards and they're like, I could have used this 5 years ago when I started to care for my mother, for my father, for my aunt, for my uncle. But I can certainly use the tips and the resources inside this to improve that caregiving journey, no matter where you are on it. So we're pleased to get that kind of feedback, but most importantly, we're honored to be able to share those free resources and many others with the community. And in fact, talking about that caregiving guide, We have a very easy link there as well, so folks can go directly to get that. AARP.org/vets care guide.
And that caregiving guide is incredible. It is a wonderful tool to use. And you said that was the first tool that AARP released. So can you tell me a little bit more about the wonderful tool that was just released to help veterans and military family members find access to service-related health benefits?
Absolutely. So I'll pick it up right here. It's called our Health
Perfect.
Benefits Navigator. And how this came about was by being in community as well as holding virtual events. And there was not an event or a program that went by where afterwards folks came up to us and said, you know, I'm a veteran. I don't know where to start to find out what health benefits I may or may not qualify for. The process seems to be confusing. It's a little bit complex. It might be cumbersome. And so after we heard those reports over and over and over again, we clearly jumped to the conclusion there's a need to build a better mousetrap here. And in fact, we think this might be the first mousetrap that was created to make that process much easier. And that's why we call it a navigator, much easier to navigate. So inside this, it's about a 28-page guide. It provides basic questions that families should ask. It provides resources for those interested in learning more about VA health, military TRICARE, Medicare, Medicaid, and even private insurance such as ACA. So, and the reason we released it in October is that that's on the front end of when so many of our annual health enrollment programs start, and you have that window of when you need to get enrolled in your particular health care. And so, so we want to be on the front end of that and let people be able to flip through this navigator guide and be able to learn more of what the options are available. We can't say this is the one that's perfect for you, but instead
Right.
we try to lay the framework of, again, questions folks should ask and basic information they should know so that they are then asking the right questions and getting the right information in return. And with that one, that is our easy jump link on that is aarp.org/vets health navigator.
That is a great tool. Again, if you are just joining us, welcome to Coffee Chat. I'm Andy Bozarth, Director of Outreach and Advocacy for AARP Kansas, and I'm joined today by Pete Jeffries. And Pete is the National Director of AARP's Veterans and Military Families Initiatives. And I know that Pete would be happy to answer any questions you have, so please put those questions into our chat box, and I will take them live on the air. You were talking a little bit about the benefits that AARP has for military families and members and their military family caregivers. One of the things that I have heard through our Fraud Watch network is that veterans and military families are more likely to be targeted for scams than other people are. Is that true?
It's absolutely true. And in
Oh
fact,
my.
spoiler alert here, on November 9th, we're going to be releasing a new survey with a report that will detail the current scams and frauds and identity theft schemes that are going on so that we can help veterans, military families further protect themselves. And in fact, AARP has a free program already, the Fraud Watch Network. And part of Fraud Watch Network, we've developed a program called Operation Protect Veterans. And that's a collaboration with the United States Postal Inspection Service, which deals with mail fraud all the time.
Right.
And so we came together with U.S. Postal Inspection Service and wanted to create more public awareness that that veterans and military families are significantly more likely to be targeted by con artists as well as to lose money to con artists than compared to the civilian population. And some of those top scams that we're going to be showcasing next week include scammers trying to steal your VA pension benefits, your VA disability benefits. They run home mortgage scams, whether you have a home mortgage from a private lender or from the VA. Another one is that veterans and military families, they have giving hearts, and they love to help out their brothers and sisters who also have worn the uniform. Con artists know that, and unfortunately, they prey upon that knowledge as well as using military jargon day in, day out to try to woo people to separate from their own money. And so veterans and military families also have been targeted at an excessive rate to give to fake veteran charities and veteran or military causes. One other thing that we learned in the survey that will be coming out next week is that the veterans and military families also weren't left alone during the pandemic. There were some pandemic scams going on out there, and some of them particularly targeting them as a population, particularly over the stimulus checks, whether they went out by direct deposit or through the mail. So our Operation Protect Veterans program is there to provide free information as well as free resources so that veterans and military families, well, number one, know what scams are going on around them, but number two, learn other ways that they can protect themselves, whether it be from phishing, email scams, text scams, or those darn robocalls that everybody hates.
Oh, Pete, that's incredible information, and I'm so glad that AARP is standing up for our veterans and military families. We've talked about caregiving, health, and even fraud, but we're only scratching the surface of the work that you and your team do. Could you tell us a bit about AARP's efforts related to work and jobs for veterans and military families?
Absolutely. And that's actually one of the areas that veteran and military family population came to AARP and told us is that whether it's military transition to civilian life or veterans that are currently in the civilian workforce and want to move from job to job, they know that AARP has an AARP job board that's particularly focused on those experienced workers. Well, one thing that we did immediately when we started the Veteran Military Family Initiative is we created what we call a Veterans Wanted button right there, prominently displayed on our free job board, so that it connects by the magic of technology. Once that a veteran uploads their resume, it automatically connects to veteran-friendly employers that want to hire those who have served their country. And so that's one step. We also have a free resource at our AARP job site that we call it a resume builder. So sometimes veterans will have their resume when they come out of the military or when they've been in another job, and this word might not work just right with that civilian employer. So the resume builder helps folks to scrub their resumes, refresh their resumes, and update their resumes to make it as market ready as possible. So between having a Veterans Wanted button as well as the resume builder, those are two great places to start. I will give a little tickler. Coming up in January, we're going to roll out a whole new platform. So it's one-stop shopping. Folks will be able to go to, it's a forthcoming Veterans Job Search Center. And we're going to have not just the job board and the resume builder, but also we're going to have some tutorial videos where it's specifically tailored for those veterans seeking civilian employment, as well as some other really neat things to improve the job search, including a forthcoming veteran job search toolkit.
That's incredible. What a wonderful project to be part of. I imagine you're very proud of that.
It's been very exciting. And in fact, as part of what we're going to roll out in January as well, is it's not just going to be for veterans and military, also for their spouses, because we've also, knowing the community, we've found that a lot of military spouses in particular, because of moving from one place of station to another, they find extreme difficulty in finding employment that's right for them. And in too many cases, military spouses are underemployed. So we want to make sure that they're finding that perfect right fit, just like those who are transitioning from military to the civilian workforce.
That's great. Incredible work you're doing in your department. We're very proud of you and thankful for what you do.
Well, thank you
Before
for that.
we wrap, do you have any additional comments for our viewers? And how can people learn more about AARP's work with veterans and military families?
Sure thing. Again, November is Veterans and Military Families Month. And to further show our appreciation, we are highlighting that we have a year-round membership discount for veterans, military, and their spouses. It's up to 30% off of regular AARP membership. Again, very small way for us to say thanks and to be able to salute people for their service and sacrifice, because it's not just the person who puts on the uniform, it's the whole family around them for that support network as well. And you can find that, as well as so many of these other tools and free resources we talked about, whether it be in caregiving, fighting fraud, securing employment, or helping to connect to benefits, deals, and discounts, of which I can tell you, brand new stories up on our website today to feature what are those Veterans Day deals and discounts, which we know everybody loves, as well as we have another story about year-round discounts for veterans and military families. All that can be found at aarp.org/veterans, aarp.org/veterans. Again, we're excited to be able to share all of our free resources and information with folks in a timely way.
Thank you, Pete. And thank you to all of our veterans and their families. We appreciate you more than you will ever know. Thanks to the audience for joining us today. And we will see you again next week, same time, same place. Have a great day.
Thanks, Andy.